Domains and kingdoms. Domains. In a phylogenetic tree of all life on Earth, the first branches represent the three domains of the modern classification system. The three domains are domain Bacteria, domain Archaea, and domain Eukarya. LUCA gave rise to all three domains. Genetic analysis has enabled the creation of many hypotheses regarding the identity of LUCA. Most scientists agree that LUCA was a community of organisms that lived at high temperature and pressure near hydrothermal vents. They metabolized methane and hydrogen gas in the absence of oxygen, like some modern archaeans. The current cladogram shows LUCA as a root, shown in black, that gave rise to two branches of life, Bacteria and Archaea Eukarya. Domain Bacteria. Domain Bacteria consists of prokaryotes and includes the bacteria most people are familiar with, including both the beneficial bacteria used to make yogurt, as well as the disease-causing organisms such as E. coli O157H7. Domain Bacteria only has one kingdom, Eubacteria. Species in this kingdom are assigned to more discrete taxa based on their cell structures, methods of cellular metabolism, and other factors. In this picture, this is a petri dish of bacteria growing on it, and the way it's cultured is they take a swab of bacteria and they streak it once across the plate, then they take a sterile swab and they streak it again this way, collecting just some of that bacteria from the original streak, and they do it again, and they do it again, and they keep on doing it until they have less and less bacteria, and then you kind of get these individual colonies growing. Domain Archaea. Domain Archaea also contains only prokaryotes. These prokaryotes share characteristics with both bacteria and eukaryotes. They differ from bacteria in their rRNA gene sequence and in their plasma membrane sequence. Domain Archaea was only given its distinct domain in 1970. It has a vastly different DNA sequence from any other kingdom, so it cannot be classified with bacteria. Domain Archaea includes organisms that can live in places considered too volatile for other organisms, such as very hot or salty environments. They also live in fresh water, soil, and in people. Domain Eukarya. Domain Eukarya is made up of eukaryotes. They can be unicellular or multicellular. The cells all have a membrane-bound nucleus and various organelles. This domain is broken into four kingdoms: Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Major differences between domains. Both bacteria and archaea are always unicellular. Most species of Eukarya are multicellular, like plants and animals, but there are some unicellular species, like baker's yeast is a unicellular fungus. Bacteria and Eukarya have phospholipids in their membranes, but archaea do not. Bacteria have peptidoglycan in their cell walls. Archaea do not have this. That's a major difference between bacteria and archaea. And there are some species of Eukarya that have cell walls, plants and fungus mainly. And bacteria and archaea do not have a nuclear envelope because they do not have a nucleus. Eukaryotes do, and eukaryotes also have membrane-bound organelles, which bacteria and archaea do not. Kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista is so diverse that some taxonomists believe it could be subdivided into many kingdoms. Any organism that is difficult to classify will be assigned to Kingdom Protista. Like all eukaryotes, protocells have a true nucleus and internal membranes. Protists may resemble fungi, animals, plants, or have some combination of traits from the other five kingdoms. They may be unicellular, colonial, or multicellular. They may be autotrophic or heterotrophic. The most elaborate cells on Earth are unicellular protists. Diversity in Kingdom Protista. This amoeba is an example of a protozoan, an animal-like protist. It is made up of a single, motile, elaborate cell that hunts and ingests food. This slime mold is an example of a mold, a fungus-like protist. Their colonies may seem to crawl as they grow and spread. Fungus, an animal? This diatom is an example of algae, plant-like protists. Diatoms produce 20 to 50% of the Earth's oxygen. Giant kelp, a seaweed, is also algae. This euglena has chloroplasts, but it also has an eye spot and a flagellum. Is it a plant plus animal? Kingdom Fungi. Fungi are eukaryotic, and nearly all fungi are multicellular. They have cell walls that contain chitin, while plants have cellulose. Fungi are heterotrophs. They cannot make their own food, as they lack chloroplasts. Species in this kingdom are assigned to phyla based on their sexual reproductive structures. Pictured here is Psilocybe azarescens, a mushroom with hallucinogenic properties. Kingdom Plantae. Plants are multicellular photosynthetic eukaryotes. Members of the Plantae kingdom are further grouped based on how they carry water, vascular and non-vascular. There are 3 non-vascular phyla and 9 vascular phyla. Plants are very diverse in their structure. Kingdom Animalia. Animals are eukaryotic, multicellular heterotrophs. There are 36 recognized animal phyla, of which 9 contain the vast majority of described existing species. Animals are grouped into phyla based on the presence or absence of certain structures. Chimpanzees are one of humans' closest relatives. They are grouped into the same phyla as we are because they have similar body plans. Last universal common ancestor. We are again brought back to the idea of LUCA, and that all living things have a common starting point. Let's take another look at the phylogeny that we have drawn so far. So we have the common ancestor, and then the 3 domains of life, bacteria, eukarya, and archaea, and then the kingdoms, eubacteria, the kingdom of bacteria, archaea bacteria, the kingdom in archaea, and then the 4 kingdoms that are within Eukarya, Protista, Animalia, Plantae, and Fungi.